Hello, my name is Stas and I have been living in Poland for 8 years. And by watching this video to the end, you will get one very important answer. How to conduct business in Poland legally on a simplified system. Open a sole proprietorship and conduct business on a simplified system through it. Pay from turnover and understand exactly how much you will be paying. Watch this video and you will learn from specific cases and examples what, how much and where you will be paying in the first 6 months. The next 2 years and how much you will actually be paying. After 2 years of ownership, let's go. So, Poland has a third form of taxation called Ryczałt, and there is an option to pay from turnover. But unlike Ukraine, the rate is not fixed. It is variable and depends on the type of activity. And this rate ranges from 2% to 17%, depending on what you do. A common question is, how do I let the government know what I am doing? By specifying the types of activities at the time of registering your sole proprietorship, also known as IPM. Well, in the future, this can also be changed, by the way. So, there are different rates for different types of activities. For example, construction, interior work can be taxed at 5.5%. Cafes at 5.5%. E-commerce, that is online sales, 3%, which sounds quite competitive. IT, everything related to programming, 12%. Interestingly, educational services can be taxed at 8.5%. Photographers, for some reason, I don't know why 15%, it seems a bit expensive to me, well, a lot. And for example, consulting services at 17%. As you can see, there were a lot of services mentioned here. Very few goods and a lot of services. Why is that? Because usually services don't have a lot of expenses. Typically, a service is provided by the person themselves as a private entrepreneur, essentially. And that's probably why there are so many classifications and different rates specifically for services. With goods, it's simpler. You sell goods either online or offline. There might be some hybrid options. But in general, the third form of taxation does not differentiate based on what kind of goods you sell. There are very few of them, these distinctions. Mainly, they try to categorize everything around services. So, the first important thing to note is this rate. You need to check the rate. Before you plan to do anything, please check the rate. You can find this out from us either on a paid or free basis. Or you can Google it yourself if you can manage. So friends, there is a percentage that you pay. This is the so-called PID. That is, it's the profit tax that you pay. The second thing is ZUS, which is the Social Insurance Fund. And there are 2 ZUS payments that you will need to make. ZUS number 1 is called, let's call it the Polish VAT. That is, it's a ZUS that emerged relatively recently. And its essence is that thresholds were invented, after which the rate you pay for ZUS changes. Let's figure it out. Right here, right now. A slide. You can see it. Pause the video. It works like this. There are 3 thresholds you need to remember. Up to 60,000 zlotys per year, up to 300,000 zlotys per year, and everything above that. So if your turnover, according to your sole proprietorship, on the third form of taxation is up to 60,000 zlotys, then you will pay approximately 330,000. That's 350 zlotys per month. Okay? So if you want to earn up to 60,000 zlotys per year, you will pay 335 zlotys for ZUS under the Polish deal and the tax rate for the type of activity you are engaged in. For example, 5.5% of the turnover plus this ZUS per month, which is 335 zlotys per month. This is an extremely rare case, meaning very few people. 60,000 zlotys is what very few people make, most people make more. Accordingly, the second threshold that exists is up to 300,000 zlotys. Approximately 560 zlotys per month. In this case, you will pay if your turnover exceeds 60,000 zlotys. Friends, in general, you either need to understand and realize this, or pay us for a consultation so that we can personally explain and write it out for you. Well, or, I don't know, skip this video and open a business under a different tax regime. But Believe me, it's not better there. That is why, please listen to me carefully. Sit down, calm down, and listen to me carefully. Accordingly, if you make a turnover of up to 300,000 koł, you pay approximately 560 zlotys per month to ZUS, the social insurance fund under the Polish deal. Okay? If you make over 300k a year, you will pay approximately 1,000 zlotys per month. Under the Polish deal, this ZUS. Noted. Now, within the framework of sole proprietorship, there is a ZUS, which has always been there. There is the social insurance fund, which has always been paid. How does it work? For the first 6 months, you may not pay anything. It's called Olga Get Going. Yes, an important point, you need to request it. That is, you need to indicate this during registration. Or alternatively, you can send an additional application later, but it needs to be indicated. Otherwise, this start discount will not be available. Accordingly, this second ZUS for the first 6 months, you can choose not to pay. For the next 1.5 years, you can pay a reduced ZUS. At the current moment, it's approximately 500, maybe, as you watch this video, 600 zlotys per month. This is the reduced rate, ZUS. What happens after 2 years of having a sole proprietorship in Poland? You will pay ZUS based on the minimum wage in Poland. In 2023, this minimum will be 3,600 zlotys. You will pay approximately half of this amount, which is about 1,700 zlotys or something like that. Accordingly, after 2 years of having a simplified sole proprietorship in Poland, what will your tax base consist of? First, PID, a percentage of the turnover that you pay, which will depend on what exactly you are doing. For example, 5.5%. ZUS within the framework of the Polish deal. If you make 60,000 a year, you will pay 335 zlotys per month. If you make up to 300,000, you will pay 560 zlotys per month. If you make over 300,000 zlotys, you will pay 1,000 zlotys per month. Third, I don't have enough hands, right? Third, first, second, third, this is the old ZUS. The first 6 months are free. We don't pay anything. For the next 1.5 years, we pay the lower ZUS, approximately 500, 600 zlotys, and after 2 years, 3 ZUS will be from the minimum wage. In Poland, it's about 1,700 zlotys. Let's sum it up. Let's take a typical case that our clients have, in which we conduct consultations, and we actually open a sole proprietorship in Poland. After 2 years, you will pay approximately this amount. You will pay 1,700 zlotys for 1 ZUS, 560 zlotys. That's 1,700, that's 2,000, 2,060 zlotys. You will pay for 2 ZUS if you are making up to 300,000, and you will pay some rate per month, some percentage accordingly. Let's calculate this in euros. Please divide 2,200 zlotys by 4.7. We will now calculate the current exchange rate for some amount. 2,260 divided by 4.7. 480 euros. Accordingly, at the current moment at point A, we calculate this. If nothing changes, then after 2 years of your business existence in Poland, under the simplified system, in 90% of cases, you will be paying 480 euros per month to ZUS, to the social insurance fund, and plus the rate from the turnover that you will be making. Most of you will be making a 190,000 zlotys per month, and if you're interested in why exactly this figure, why 190,000 zlotys per month, write in the comments. I can record a separate video. This is a sacred number, a magical sacred number, which is very important to remember if you are on outreach. Write if you're interested in finding out why. Let's calculate the percentage. Let's propose some percentage. 190,000, please divide by 4.7. 426 euros is 190,000 zlotys. Let's subtract a few rates. If your type of activity is taxed at a rate of 5.5%, then 40,000 minus 5.5%. How much tax will we pay? 2,223 euros. You will pay annually. For the year, if you make a turnover of 40,000 euros and your rate is 5.5%. So guys, here's the situation. Why do many Poles complain about ZUS, the social insurance fund? It's very simple. You can pay, after 2 years of owning a business, without any issues, 450 euros, approximately 450 euros to ZUS, social insurance fund. And at the same time, your profit tax will be 150 euros. Accordingly, the ZUS rate, the social insurance fund, takes 3 times more than ultimately the PIT rate. Therefore, it is very important to keep track of all these threshold rates, all these figures, and everything else. Guys, let's summarize. Firstly, based on fact, number 1, ZUS is likely to take more taxes and more money from you than PIT. That is, your social insurance fund will take more money from you than you will spend on personal income tax. The bad news is that this ZUS is likely to keep increasing more and more. That means it will be 400 euros, 500 euros, 600 euros. In 10 years, you will likely have to pay 1,000 euros for ZUS. The good news is that all of this is happening gradually with the level of inflation and, in any case, with the level of price growth, including for your goods and services. And the second piece of good news is that within the framework of being self-employed, you can engage in various types of activities. That is, you can conduct something and sell some product at 3% through e-commerce. You can provide consulting services at 17%. You can offer construction services at 5.5% and sell coffee at 5.5%. So you can teach people at 8.5%. There are options to expand and further optimize certain things. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If I can help you develop your business, assist in opening a sole proprietorship in Poland, help open a company with PUK UZO in Poland, or if you need a paid professional consultation, all the necessary links are below the video. Leave a request and either I or a manager will contact you. I will be glad to see you. Wishing you a successful business in Poland.